So I start recording the meeting, though it's a little bit late, right? The idea is for you to use the activities, the tasks here in this guide to solve the activities with this text, right? So you can find the text in these links, all right? The text 0 and the guide. Both documents are in the platform, okay? One of the most important, here I repeat, follow the steps presented in the guide to complete the activities about text 0, which is this text, right?
Yes.
In the guide, you're going to find, like, there are three main stages. One is the anticipation of the text. The other has to do with the verification, reformulation, and beyond the text, finishing with the writing assignment. Okay, with the writing or written assignment. So let's start. I'm going to explain very briefly, right? You know, because we've been working with this idea of preparing ourselves to face a text, right? So before reading the text in details, you need to decide which reading strategies you are going to put into practice in order to anticipate the text, in order to make hypotheses about the text, what you know or what you don't know about it, right? So you are going to trigger, to activate your background knowledge, your prior knowledge on the topic, right? And that is going to be articulated with the new information, okay? Integrated with the new information. So remember, it says here, use the appropriate reading strategies to answer the following questions. What genre does the text belong to, right? And then what genetic features tell you so, right? So you analyze the genre, right? What type of text is it, all right? And then the characteristics of these texts or this genre. Then where was this text taken from? How do you know? What words from the title are key, right? So from this title, right? Which words from this title do you think are key, right? In order to start making hypotheses about this text. Then it says here, scan the text and underline keywords, the whole text. You scan the whole text and you underline keywords, right? Remember that the keywords are the ones that are integrated or that they are intimately related with the title and the subtitles and the pictures, right? Remember that we need to analyze the paratext, and the paratext is the one that's going to activate our prior knowledge. So you underline the keywords, and then the question is, do you know anything about this topic? Discuss with your companions and briefly write a couple of sentences about it. So if we pay attention to the text, whose title is Everything is Burning, Argentina's Delta Fires Range Out of Control. And you have these pictures here, right? And you skim the text very, very quickly. My question is, do you know anything about this topic? Have you heard, have you read anything about this topic?
Not really. I don't watch the news or anything.
Okay, you don't watch news, you don't read newspaper either?
No, I don't watch TV or anything.
Listen to the radio? So you know nothing of what's happening in Argentina? right now? As
I
regards to this topic,
just only
not
keep
as
up with
regards
the
to pandemic.
coronavirus stuff because my mom tells me, but besides that, I don't really
Okay,
get
no.
that much.
Leave the virus stuff aside, right? Leave it
Yeah,
aside.
so nobody
Do
wants
not
to
talk
hear
about the
about
virus. Let's not
it.
talk about the pandemic, all right? We've had enough about it. We are
Yeah.
still under lockdown. So let's change the topic, right? So what about Mika, Juliana, John?
I heard something, but just that.
Okay, you just heard.
Yes.
No idea. Okay,
Yeah.
so you would have to perhaps, in order to activate your knowledge, you would have to read some words, right? The words that are keywords, like for example, this idea of well, you know that the piece of news, this piece of news is about Argentina, right? And it says Argentina's with apostrophe S, meaning possession, Argentina's delta, right?
Yes.
Where can you find a delta in Argentina? So at least this information should be activated. Where's the delta? Or where can you find delta areas in Argentina? Do you have any idea about that? No?
Tigre.
Okay, Tigre, all right. Tigre, okay, what else? Where else? No? Okay, let's see, this is the text. In a bigger case, right, it says, cattle ranching and drought have turned the Paraná River grasslands to tinder, threatening disaster for the area's wildlife. So, what does it tell you? Where is this piece of news taking place?
In the Paraná River.
Okay, the Paraná River, very good. Where's our Paraná River, guys?
Entre Ríos.
Entre Ríos.
Okay, Entre Ríos. It's the limit.
Misiones.
It's the limit between Entre Ríos and what other province?
Brazil. Brazil.
Okay, Brazil at the north, but what other Argentine province? Because you
Buenos
mentioned
Aires.
which one?
Buenos Aires.
Okay, Buenos Aires, Entre Ríos, Buenos Aires, and there is another one, which looks like a boot.
Ah, Santa Fe.
Okay, mainly between Entre Ríos and Santa Fe, okay?
Mm.
And some part, of course, the north of Buenos Aires, right, very good. Good, have a look at this, picture, right? Where was this picture posted? Where was it posted?
Twitter.
Twitter, okay, in Twitter, okay. What can you see in this picture?
You can see the fire from the city.
Okay, okay. From the city, you can see the fire, right?
In the distance,
Big
across the
flames.
river, right?
Pardon?
Across the river?
Across the river. So there's a city here on the forefront of the picture, Then in the middle, you can see the river, and on the background, you can see huge flames, right? Huge flames. So then, of course, there's a lot of information. And here, what can you see? Let's read the caption below the picture. Can you read it?
I can read it. I can't help thinking about the animals when I see the fires. Says biologist Jorge Liotta.
Jorge Liotta, okay. And what's this? that you have on the first, in the forefront of the picture.
Oh, that's a fish?
Exactly, it's a skeleton of a fish. It's a skeleton of a fish, okay? So what you can see is that there are a lot of wildlife which is being extinct, right? And then another important detail is that I'm going to, sorry. Is failing water levels have exposed the shore along the Paraná River. Okay, so you can see that all these shore should be covered in water, which is not. Okay, this is in Rosario, and this is a bridge which is called Rosario on this shore, and here is Victoria. Okay, Paraná Entre Ríos. Okay, so you can see that there is no water, almost no water. Okay, this is also the result of the fire. All right, after preparing yourself to read the text, after anticipating the text and writing some sentences about what you know and about what you expect to find in the text, you are going to read the text in detail. Okay, you would read the text in detail, and once you finish, you complete these exercises. In these exercises, complete the following chart with information from the text. You would need to at least extract, get 3 or 4 main ideas, okay? 3 or 4 important pieces of important information. You write them here, not transcribing it from the book, from the text, right? But explaining that with your own words, right? Main idea, 3 or 4 very short sentences. Then, what sub-ideas are used to explain those main ideas? Okay? And then, what supporting material are used to exemplify those sub-ideas and main ideas? Am I clear? Is it clear what you have to do? In other words, what I'm asking you to do is to classify the information that you find in the text in order of importance, okay? Trying to recognize topic sentences, sub-ideas, and supporting material, okay? So which ideas, right, are the main, then what other ideas, which sentences are used to explain those ideas, and that what sentences are used to illustrate those ideas. Am I clear, people? Is the exercise clear? Okay, yes. Good. Then we are going to work with lexical chains, right? And here it's a very short, this is from Wikipedia, so it's a very simple explanation what a lexical chain is, right? Remember that it is a sequence of words or a family of words related to the topic, right? To a certain topic. So it would be very important for you to identify different lexical chains within the text. Okay, and then next class we are going to discuss them and work on that. You can also practice identifying and working with lexical chains in this site. All this is here, right? For example, you may want to study lexical chains a bit further, so use the following site. And if you click here, you can see that this is a site. Okay, I'm muting all of you people because there are some background noise, okay? So if you need to ask me something, remember your mic is off. So this is a lesson, right? It's a mini lesson, and it works. It explains what a lexical chain is with examples, and then you have some tasks for you to, for example, task A, right? With the text and possibilities. Here you can, for example, ask the site to show you all the questions about the first text. It's just a multiple choice. Then you can continue with task B, right? And all this. So this is more practice for you to work on lexical chains. Yes? Good. Any questions so far? No. Then another exercise that is based on this text is the one focusing on direct and indirect speech. We have already worked with that, okay? So now we are going to focus on reporting verbs. Instead of using all the time say, tell, ask, here, there are lots of verbs, right? Which, for example, express explanation, right? Or cautious, right? When you are being cautious, the speaker is being cautious, right? Or judgmental, all right? And here, there are more links for you to read about reporting verbs. Let me check if I can find no, let's do this here, right? For example, here you have more information about reporting verbs. For example, the difference between tell, say, and ask, right? Or when to use a verb plus that, plus a clause like complain, deny, explain, exclaim, or remark, promise, boast, inform, claim, agree, suggest. Then when to use the verb plus to plus the infinitive with agree, offer, refuse. So you see, there's a lot of information that you need to read and then practice, right? Because there are exercises. And of course, ask me next class. Okay? And as you can see, there is also a link to our book, Oxford Practice Grammar by Yule. It's Unit 12, which deals with direct and indirect speech. All right? Yes? Good. Task 4. What do you have to do with task 4? Well, task 4 helps us or requires us to go beyond the text, right? After reading text 0, which is our source text, after analyzing it, paying attention to lexical chains and paying attention to direct and indirect speech, especially reporting verbs, we are going to read 2 more texts, text 1 and text 2. Text 1 is this one. Let's give it a moment for it to open, right? Which is about Argentina's wetlands under assault by worst fires in more than a decade. Okay, so as you can see, there's more information here about, again, the repetition of the word fire, right? In the first text, there's this connotation, this burning and the delta fires and the idea of rage out of control. Then in this piece of news, it says under but the worst fires in more than a decade. Okay, so this is one of the texts, and then the other text, text number 2, is this one, right? California wildfires. Gender reveal party blamed for fire. Okay, in this text, this is 8 hours. It was published 8 hours ago. There are some videos for you to watch and listen to, right? So there are no, let's see, there are no guides for you to approach these 2 texts, text 1 and text 2. So it is up to you to choose the appropriate strategies to face those texts and to read those texts. What is the purpose? Is try to answer these questions. How do they differ, text 1 and text 2? How do they differ or not from the previous one, from the first one, which is text 0, okay? The one that we talked about some minutes ago, okay? So how do they differ? First of all, do they differ, right? So you need to compare and contrast the 3 texts. And here it says discuss with your partners. The idea is that you get together via WhatsApp or Zoom or whatever and try to discuss the ideas, right? Chop them down on a sheet of paper and pay attention to this. How are they different and how are they similar? Apart from the organizational aspect, do they belong to the same genre? Yes, no. Do they deal with the same information? Yes, no. How? What's different? What's similar? Okay? Am I clear? Good. And then, of course, after having discussed, comparing and contrasting the information, you should write a short piece comparing and contrasting the 3 texts. Okay? And here what's missing is that you need to write this in a document in your drive and share it with me. I'm going to finish writing there, okay? So I'm going to give you 15 days for you to specially hand in this writing. Okay? Yes? So, in a nutshell, right? In other words, you need to read. As you can see, this is the material that you need to pay attention to and to kind of divide your work in 4 classes, right? Because you should cover today's class, Wednesdays, and then next Monday and next Wednesday, right? So that you have 3 texts. You analyze in detail text 0. Pay attention to lexical chains. Pay attention to direct and indirect speech. Then you analyze and you read, text 1 and text 2, and you compare and contrast, okay, with text 0 in terms of organization, in terms of genre, and in terms of information, okay? Once you finish with that, you write a very short piece, not 1 paragraph, a piece, right? That means there should be an introduction, there should be the body, the development, and there should be the end, okay? The conclusion, all right? So at least 3 paragraphs. Introduction, body, conclusion. All right? You do that in your drive, in a document, and then you share it with me. All right? Then I'm going to show you, I'm going to complete the instructions and I'm going to give you more instructions on how to share it with me. Yes? Right. Now, tell me, questions about what you have to do. Is that clear? Do you have any doubts?
In here.
Yes, Mika?
In supporting material, could be pictures too.
Yes,
videos.
yes, it could be. Yes, it could be the supporting material. Yes, because if we consider that pictures are also texts.
Okay.
Right. You can also say, okay, there is 1, 2, 3 pictures, right? But I would also like for you to identify which sentences are there to exemplify the concept. Okay?
Okay.
Good. All right.
Can the links that are within the text be like supporting material also considered as supporting material? Or?
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Could
Okay.
be.
Because like they are there for a reason, right?
Okay, exactly. Exactly. All right. That's good. That's good. All right. So it's very important that, I mean, for me, I want you to pay attention to that. One of the objectives of this exercise is for you to identify, to give hierarchy, to classify, rank the information. Remember what you did when you were in first year and sometimes with me before. Remember paragraph organization when we said a paragraph, a well-written paragraph should have a topic sentence, sub-ideas, and a conclusion with supporting material, supporting material and then a conclusion. Well, the same happens with all the texts. There should be topic sentences, supporting sub-ideas, supporting material or evidence, right? And then a conclusion. Or not, I don't know. But this is the way that you need to write. In this case, you are going to classify the information, then you are going to compare and contrast different texts that belong to the same genre, that perhaps they share some kind of information or not. And then you would need to write, not an article, you just have to write a very short piece, okay? As if it were, imagine it as if it were an essay, but you should write introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion, all right? Okay. And the focus, the linguistic exponents that we are focusing on are, remember, lexical chains and direct and indirect speech, okay? So this is the work that you have for 15 days. Then, after that, we are going to continue with this topic, fire and all that, right? And we're going to see what happens, right, with other genres. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Good.
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
No questions? We still have 4 minutes to go.
I have a super random question. Like,
yeah, sure.
Okay, I want to know where can I find information about journaling? Journaling in the sense of a personal journal, not like journal for a newspaper.
Okay, now I can't think of where, but let's give me some time and I try to find out. Journals like, you see, a personal
Keeping
diary.
A personal journal, yeah, exactly.
Personal diary. Okay, let me think about it. Okay.
Yeah, because I was interested in reading some I found from the 1800s, and I wanted to use it at the same time. Like I could analyze them when I read them. Like.
Okay. All right. Good. And where did you find this from the 1800s?
Oh, on the internet, like.
Ah, okay, okay, but it's not for a subject, like, I don't know.
No, it's not for a subject. Okay. It's like a personal thing. I like.
Oh, but that's very interesting. That's very interesting, right? When we were supposed to be doing, right, if things were normal, was to work with autobiographies, biographies and autobiographies, right? But we are going to cope with that and deal with that next year, right? As soon as we get together, we're going to deal with that next year. So don't worry. Even if it is a second year or a third year content, I don't know how to divide now the content, right? But we are going to try to figure it out. Okay?
Yep.
Good.
Sounds good.
Any questions?
No.
Any other questions or comments?
That was it.
No?
No.
Okay. Okay. So is that clear? If you have any problems, just send me a message through the message board in our class. Okay?
Okay.
Good. All right. So I'm going to finish explaining the instructions for you to share your writing with me. Tell your companions, the ones who were not present, tell your companions what you have to do. even with even if I'm going to now upload this recording in the classroom. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, people, have a nice week. If you do not have any questions, I go on with the meeting, with the Thai meeting. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a nice week.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You too.